Yeah, I have started the meeting recording. You can go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, so yes, yesterday we have covered some of the basic things like creating the variable. So just we'll quickly understand what did we do yesterday. So we have
Vamshi, just one suggestion, just try to use notes rather than just printing out the items. Yeah.
in the
Okay.
notes here,
Just
right?
yeah, you can just type in over here instead of using notepad. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
So yesterday we have covered like how to create a variables, the different way of creating a variables. One is from this variable section, and other is by doing control K, right? So that control K option will be there whenever you are using any of the activity. For example, the click activity, a new activity which we are introducing now. So for this also, if you want, just a moment. Let's say this is one of the activity in UiPath. So to assign a value from a particular data, if you are getting a data, then you can assign a value for that. For that to create a variable, you will have to say control K, which we have already learned yesterday, creating a variable concept. And also we have learned sequence, flowchart, and the differences between if, how we have used the if condition and everything. So today is another topic we will learn is understanding the concept of variables versus arguments, right? So we have two options here, variables and arguments, right? So we have said yesterday that naming convention of variables should always be maintained in this format, right? So the naming convention is the data type underscore the variable name in camel's case, which is the standard format. And this is the example we have given yesterday. So now understanding what is argument in a real-time scenario. So this is again another important topic which you need at most attention to this topic. So let's start a new process. Okay. So now I'm taking a new sequence. Here I'm saying, let's say login. I'm just creating a workflow named login. Okay. So now if I wanted to perform any login to any website, okay, I wanted to perform login. I wanted to log in to any website. In that example, to log in, everybody know we need a username and a password. But to get a username and password, you cannot hard code it. We already discussed what is hard coding, right? Hard coding means we are giving the text, the manual entry as a text, right? Like that, right? So we should not give a value like an hard coded value, but we need a data from somebody, right? To log in or to get the sum of two numbers or whatever you need a values for two variables. So now what I'll do is just take this as an example. Here I'm just saying create argument. Like yesterday we did create a variable. Today I did create argument. So now today we will understand the direction, what is in direction, what is out direction, what is in out direction. Okay, so now first step is, let's say I wanted to create a argument. Now to create an argument, the best practice is first you should say which direction it is. So now I'm creating a direction of in direction. I'll tell you what is the difference and all. But when creating an argument, say in direction underscore, and then you give the name of your argument with a data type. Like we did yesterday, str underscore customer name. Today we will do direction underscore data type, which is str underscore, let's say user name. Okay, we have given the argument value. Now we can also give the username details here as well. Let's say UiPath RPA is a username. Just example I'm giving, username is UiPath RPA. Now to display the value, whatever you have in the argument, everybody we have already learned to display a value, we can use this write line and say in underscore str underscore username. And then if you are running this, this will give you the value, whatever you have given in the argument, same like what how it worked like a variable, right? Yesterday, same thing we did yesterday. We have created a variable. Now, after giving the default value of a variable, Today also I did the same thing. I created a default value for an argument. Now I try to display this value and I went to output. I got UiPath RPA. So for clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, just a moment. Okay, great. Now let me introduce another concept here. Here I said UiPath RPA, which is the default value. Like we did yesterday, we have already done this thing, right? Yesterday also, I wanted to assign a value to an argument. Now instead of UiPath RPA, I wanted something like uh, just a blue prism. Just for this example, I'm taking username equal to blue prism, and then I wanted to display what is the output. Can somebody quickly guess what is the output if I am running it?
Blue prism.
Blue prism, because the default value, it was UiPath RPA, it was updated to blue prism. So now if I am running it, it was updated to blue prism. So this is same things whatever we have learned already with the variable concept yesterday, and everything is working as expected. Up to this point, clear. Now from here, whatever I am saying is bit tricky concept. So please put utmost attention, and in the future, all the projects all the workflows will have the arguments. So how to use this arguments is what I am trying to tell you now. Now, let's start the things. As we have already discussed these things, I'll delete this off. I delete this off. Okay, now my main XAML is empty. Now what I will do is from main workflow, this is a workflow which is called as main workflow. From main workflow, I wanted to call login workflow. Now, what do I mean by calling a workflow means from this workflow, I want to use login workflow. To do that, the simple option is go to project. Okay, simple, go to project. You will have list of XAMLs in the project. Now you decide which workflow you wanted to use. Now, like I said, I want to use login workflow. I will bring this login and then I'll put it into the center. That's it. Just drag and drop that particular workflow and then you're done. Now I'll stop. Any problem so far? No problem. Keep me posted. I'm seeing your
Next.
chart in separate window here. I'm not able to connect to my mic. Okay, Niranjan is not able to connect to mic, but guys, I'm seeing your chat. In case if you are said yes or if you don't understand, just put that message in the chat. I'm seeing your chat in a separate window here. Okay, so like I said, I just dragged and dropped this login workflow. Now, the moment you do that, it will show you this in orange color, the dark color thing, which is saying a 0 and then import argument. Now we should understand what is this. Now I click on this import argument. Listen very carefully. Now I clicked on import argument. Now it is asking me the value for username. So basically, what we should do is, if you want to pass the data from main XAML to login XAML, let's say I have a customer username. Let's take an assign activity and let's say str use customer name and let's assign customer username to Sri Lakshmi. Okay, now my customer username is assigned to Sri Lakshmi. This is what we have already learned yesterday. Now, if I want to pass this particular person's name, let it be Sri Lakshmi or Nirmala or Vamsi or whoever's name, whatever we are assigning to this particular variable, now if I want to pass this variable data to argument, I should click on import argument, and instead of this hard coded value, I am repeating this step one more time, which is hard coded value. Hard coded means this is something you have entered as an hard coded, which is always fixed. But I want something to run in a dynamic way. In that case, I should say str customer name. Now what is happening? Let's see. Now to username, whatever we have in the login XAML, Okay, the username, whatever we add in the login XAML, which is as an argument, we are passing the variable of main XAML. So the customer name is Sri Lakshmi. Now the Sri Lakshmi's name I am passing to this username, which is in the login XAML. So let's remove this and let's try to display. So the default value we have is UiPath RPA, but we pass the username as Sri Lakshmi. Let's put a breakpoint here, like by doing F9 or by doing toggle breakpoint. This will stop here, and let's go step by step and understand what exactly robot is doing. Before I trigger, again I'll see if anybody have any problems so far. Yes or no, please put it in the chat.
No, sir.
Okay, I am debugging this file. So now it will start the execution from main XAML. So process started. Now it is up to this point. Now let's see what is there in customer name. Now when I said customer name, it said null. Why? Why is customer name is null, but when we actually assigned as Sri Lakshmi?
Sir, toggle paint use we using the toggle paint, that's why it's a value showed null.
Exactly. So when we said toggle point here, that means this particular step was not yet executed. Only after I do step into. Now I am doing step into. That means from this step, I am going to this step. Now let's see what is there in customer name. Now you got Sri Lakshmi. So remember this important point: when you have a toggle point to any activity, that activity is not yet executed. Now, this is important thing you need to understand. From main workflow, we have used login workflow. Now I am doing step into. Let's see the magic. Now I'm going to step into, it will go to this workflow, and whatever we have in this workflow, which is in underscore str username. So if you see, the default value of in username is UiPath RPA, but it has taken as Sri Lakshmi because we have passed the value from main XAML. So basically what I am trying to tell here is variable data, for example, in underscore salary. If you take this example, if you go to login XAML, you don't see anywhere in salary, like integer salary or integer related variable or integer related salary related argument or anything like that. So yesterday only we have already put this point saying variables are accessible only within a workflow. That means if I'm using a variable which is a let's say salary, I cannot use this variable in another workflow. But if you want to pass the value of salary from this workflow to another workflow, like we did now, the customer name we have passed from main XAML to login XAML, then this is how you need to do. Okay. Clear? Now let me ask Sri Lakshmi, can you please tell me the difference between variable and argument? Even if you're saying wrong, that's fine, but please tell. What did you understand?
Variable, you mean, and in main XAML we can define variables that is only applicable to the main XAML.
Okay.
And it is we cannot retrieve from the login XAML to the main XAML.
Okay, but Sri Lakshmi, just consider this is an interview question, not
Yes.
like whatever you said, whatever you are seeing now, the main XAML, login XAML, right? So let me give an opportunity to Sushmit now. Sushmit, just imagine you are in an interview, and in interview somebody is asking what's the difference between these two. How do you answer?
Like variable and arguments
We can pass the variable value from one activity to another, whereas in arguments, we pass the value from one workflow to a different workflow.
Okay, and be prepared to answer with an example. Okay, so whenever you're going for an interview, when somebody is asking you the difference between anything or anything, any question, so get ready with some example. Let's say, sir, for example, we have sum of two numbers, or if I wanted to get something in a login page. So if you give an example, it would add even more points to an interview. Thank you, Sri Lakshmi and Sushmit. Let's move forward. Hope everybody understood. In the argument, we have created an argument here, which is indirection. So from this, I am passing the data from main XAML. Now let me introduce another direction, which is out. Okay, so now I'm creating another value as an argument. Let's say OUT, out underscore. Here I'm saying str, let's say integer underscore, let's say salary. I want to pass the salary. Okay, I want to pass the salary from login XAML to main XAML. Okay, just take instead of login, let's rename this name as get salary. This is bit tricky, but once you understand this concept, you will definitely learn a lot of things. Okay, so let's go one by step, and then we will go understand what is the reality. So now I will get the username. So let's remove this thing, whatever we have here. In underscore str underscore username, that we are getting it from main XAML, right? So let's say if the salary we need to retrieve from this workflow, then what we shall do is, let's take if activity, and if str username is equal to, let's say if str username is equal to Vamsi, for example, then let's assign this argument salary, which is out int salary. Here you can see out int salary. Let's say Vamsi's salary is, for example, 60,000. If the username is other than Vamsi, let's say, let's take another assign activity. And if it is other than Vamsi, let's say out salary equal to 85,000. So basically what are we trying to do is, the username, whatever we are passing from main XAML, if it is equal to Vamsi, then send the salary back to main XAML, which is 60,000. If it is not Vamsi, then send the salary back to main XAML, which is 85,000. And finally, come out of this workflow. So once you pass this salary from get salary, this workflow, somebody has to pick up this value, right? The salary, somebody has to pick up it. That is this variable, integer in salary. Okay, now let me step by step debug and show you what it is doing you exactly. Let's put it as Sri Lakshmi only, which is customer name. So let's run this one by one. There is an error, just a moment. Could not find login XAML. I think something is wrong.
Yes, we changed it to get salary. So
Yeah. So this is the problem. It says get salary, right? So just click on browse for files. This is another option. We can also drag and drop like this, or you can also, let me do the drag and drop thing only, which you're already familiar. So I'm just dragging this get salary XAML, putting it to the center. Now, the moment we do it, it will give you this orange color highlighter. So str username, I want to pass this person's name, which is str customer name. Now, whatever that particular beside workflow, which is get salary workflow is giving me a salary, I want to assign it to salary variable. That's it. But if you see the salary variable here, the argument is of string type, right? But here it's int type, but here it is of string type. So let's put this also as integer type for this moment. Now your error is gone. Now I will go step by step and understand. Oh, this is something missing. Give me a moment. Okay, it was finding for this login XAML. I'll figure out in the later on stage why that is why that was throwing an error. But now let's come into this thing. Okay, so please concentrate this side. Variables, arguments. So str customer name is my variable. I'm assigning as Sri Lakshmi. Now I'm going step into. Now I want to use this beside workflow, this get salary workflow to this particular workflow. Now I have invoked it. So the customer name, whatever we have passed is the username. So let's see what is the username at this moment, which is Sri Lakshmi. So str username is not equal to Vamsi. It will go to else. Okay, it will go to else. It is at this side. Now the salary we are assigning is 85,000. Now it is going to step into. Now it's coming out of this flow. Now execution is done in this. Now whatever we have passed it in this beside workflow, we are assigning to this variable, which is salary, and then you got the salary whatever you have in this separate workflow. So ultimate point what I'm trying to make here is work variables are basically used in the workflow, and arguments you can pass the data from one workflow to another workflow. This is an ultimate point which I proved it just now. So I'll put some points in this teams. If meanwhile anybody have any questions, this is the time you can ask me.
Like I could not understand how the outflow is going.
Okay, I'll explain you. Let's
Yes, sir.
say,
Can you please explain the whole thing once again?
okay,
Thank you.
like I said, let me take a simple notepad for you to explain something. Let's say there are two friends, Ram and Sai. Just take this as an example. Then I will relate this to UiPath. Let's say there are two people, Ram and Sai. If Ram is asking some amount from Sai, let's say like Ram is in the need of money and is asking some amount from Sai. So basically, when Ram is asking something to Sai, that means when you're passing a value, okay, let me go again with this topic instead of other example. Let me go with this flow. This one you understood, customer name equal to Sri Lakshmi. Everybody, what did I do here? Please go on mute for 2
Yes, sir.
minutes. Everybody, please go on mute.
Yes.
So I said
Yes,
customer name is Sri Lakshmi. The first point, which is I am assigned a variable. That is clear. That we already learned yesterday. Now I created another workflow here, which is get salary workflow. And the main purpose of get salary workflow is, I am writing as an annotation here. The purpose of get salary is based on the username. This workflow should return means it should give me back, return me back salary of that user. So basically what I'm trying to say is integer in direction. If the argument is in direction, that means this workflow is expecting a value from main XAML. In means this workflow is expecting a value from main XAML. If it is out direction, this workflow has to pass the data to out XAML. So when I said in direction, that means I pass this str username from main XAML. That means this workflow is expecting a value from main XAML. When I said out direction, you will have to pass the salary from this workflow to outside workflow. If you want to give something to outside, you say out direction. If you want to take something to yourself, you should say in direction. I'll repeat one more time. If you want something to your workflow, let's say get salary is your current workflow. If you want to take something from somebody, you should say in. Taking money into your account is in direction. If you want to send money to somebody else, that's out direction. Now, with this knowledge, I want username to this workflow, which I'm taking from somebody. And after the username, I am passing the data, which I am giving a message to giving or money salary to somebody, that is out direction. After I send this out salary, I am using this outside data, whatever I have in that particular workflow. I am assigning that in this as a variable, which is in salary, which is already created already. Then I am finally displaying it. Clear or still confusion? Is that still confusion? Then I'll ask somebody to share your screen and let's do sum of two numbers using the concept of arguments and variables. But please tell me if you are not clear, I will again do something else.
Yeah, I understand the flow of
Yes.
the like how it's flowing from out and in, but
I think better to understand in detail. Sushmit, are you connected from laptop?
yes, yes.
Can you open UiPath Studio and share your screen? Why I'm investing this much time to explain this concept is because this is very important topic. Anybody, whoever wanted to share screen, please share screen. Whoever is wanted to do it first, you can share your screen. I am there with you now. I'll explain you the concept. Just simply do sum of two numbers. That's it. Sum of two numbers using arguments. Please guys, bit faster. Or else if you want to take this as a task, also you can do, or we can do it in the class, whatever is comfortable for you. But ultimately, I want the sum of two numbers using arguments.
Like how to share my screen? I am not finding the option.
Here at the top, you can see right mic option, camera option where you're unmuting. Before that unmuting option, right side, you have share button. Do you have anything like that? You will have a share option.
Yeah, got it, got it.
Yeah, please do that. Guys, let's everyone help Sushmit to do the sum of two numbers using arguments. Did you share, Sushmit?
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Not just a moment. I can see a black screen.
I think my system got hanged. Sorry.
And Sri Lakshmi, can you share?
Yes, sir, I'm trying now.
Yeah, please share. Don't worry, I am here with you. I will help you in case if you're stuck.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen. Yeah. So let's do the right from scratch one more time. Okay. Now click create a new sequence. No, not here as a sequence, like a new workflow.
Okay.
At the top, you have this new and then click on
Yes,
sequence.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Do it slowly, no worries. You have
Okay.
enough time. I can see black screen. I think when you are sharing a screen, you have not selected as full screen. Everybody seeing that black pop-up, somebody, or only I am seeing?
Yes, a
Okay,
black
sir.
pop-up is there.
Sri Lakshmi, when you are sharing screen, you should share full screen. Can you stop sharing and again reshare with full screen? Yeah, now I can see.
Okay.
Now I can see. Click on create.
Okay. Yes, sir. A new sequence. What should I name?
Name it as a result. And then say create.
Yes.
And create another sequence. Now same way, another sequence with a name called addition. Once it's done, just create. Okay. Now, now you wanted to get two numbers from result XAML. Like when you're in addition XAML, okay? So when you're in addition XAML, you should ask result to pass number 1 and number 2. Now, how do you create an argument?
Assign. Retrieve from result. Retrieve from result XAML to addition XAML.
Yeah, so you should, or else let me do it for you, and then I will ask you to do the same thing in your machine. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sure.
Okay, I will share my screen. So please concentrate. I want you to concentrate. If you're not missing, it will really create you a problem. Without this argument topic, we cannot go forward. That's the reason I'm giving a full day time for arguments. So I'm closing everything. Please put your attention here. Now I'll create two workflows. One is like result, and another thing is called addition. Now, what I said is when I am the addition, okay, when I am in the addition XAML, I want number 1 and number 2 numbers. Like somebody should give me this number 1 and number 2. So I should create an argument, right? Because I want to get the numbers from some other XAML. I should create two arguments. Here I am saying input because somebody should give me. So in number 1 and another one in underscore number 2. Are you clear up to this point? Please, if not, tell me.
Yes.
Sri Lakshmi,
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Nirmala,
Yes, sir,
Niranjan,
please.
Niranjan, are you there? Niranjan? Okay, fine.
I think his mic is not working.
Okay, fine. But hope Niranjan, you are able to understand. So I'll go to the next step. So I want number 1, number 2 from result XAML. So that is the reason I want to my bank account. That means in direction. My bank account, my number, my house, my kitchen, my bedroom, whatever. That means in. So this is my in direction. So when I'm saying in, that means I am asking you. When I'm asking you, you should pass me that from result XAML. So when I'm giving it here, which is when I'm invoking this addition, the moment I invoke addition will tell me this fellow need two numbers. That means I should pass this two numbers. Now, here I'm saying 5, here I'm saying 10. Yesterday we did within the same XAML we did, but today we are passing this 5 and 10 as an argument to this. So now this fellow got 5 and 10 are two numbers from this. Now after I got the numbers from result, what should I do? The next thing I want to add the number 1 and number 2. For that, what should I do? I should say sum. As of now, I'm saying sum. But what should I do with this sum? I want to send this sum value back to this result, because when somebody is giving me, let's say 10,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees somebody is giving me, I should put some interest to them and then send that amount back to that person. Same thing, retrieve the number 1 and number 2 from somebody and send the numbers back to that person. So sending is output. From this XAML, I'm sending it back to that person, which is out XAML, out direction. So now I should assign some value to this out sum. Now, how do I assign the value to out sum is, I will take this assign activity. In the out sum, I will say as this number 1, number 2 are string. Yesterday only we discussed how to convert from string to integer. C int of sum number 1 plus C int of number. That's it. Now my out value is ready. So far clear, or anybody have any problem?
Clear, sir.
Everybody, just I did same small steps. Number 1, I am taking from that person. Number 2, I am taking from this person, and then sum of two numbers I am doing it here, and I am passing this data back to result. In the result, now I should assign the value of this result somewhere. So how do I assign that value is, let's see that. When I'm clicking on import argument, it is asking me to put a value here, like to create a variable. So I should say Control K, because I need to create a variable here. I will say integer underscore sum of two numbers, and then I'm doing enter. So now if I need to display what is there in sum of two numbers, I will simply say integer underscore sum of two numbers dot to string. Did this help you? Now I'll run anyhow, but so far whatever we have done, is that clear? Like what did I do it in the arguments and the values I have given everything?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Sushmit?
Yes, but we can do the addition in the addition workflow as well, right? And pass the value in the result.
Actually, I'm doing the addition in the addition XAML only, right? Only I'm doing the logic here and I'm passing the value back to result.
Yes, my question is that we can add the value over here, right?
In the result.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, we can do that, and we have already done it, right? If you remember yesterday when we are doing this variable concept, I have done that in the same result only. But why did I do this like this phase? To help you understand this concept of arguments.
Okay.
Understood? So
Yes.
this is just a basic example. That's the reason I took this. But in an ideal scenario, if this is the case, instead of passing the input like number 1 and number 2 and get the sum of two numbers and again passing it, I would have done it here only. But to answer your question, to help you understand this arguments topic, I have helped you this example. Okay. Chalo. Then what I'll do now, I'll just put this breakpoint. Now let's see the final time, how it's going on. Now I put a breakpoint here. Now we already know we have passed number 1 as 10 and number 2 as 15. So now at this breakpoint, it will stop. I did step into. In the step into, we should know what is there in number 1 and number 2. So Number one is 10, it's 5. Number two is 10. 5 plus 10 is 15. And we have this out summary value, which is 15. But we are not displaying anything in the addition XAML. This is an important point you need to remember. We are not displaying anything here. We are displaying the output in the main XAML at this place, which is 15. So this is about arguments. Even if you are not fully understood, no problem. Whenever we are doing the further tasks here and there, you will get more and more clarity. But after seeing this today's video, I'm again repeating, after seeing this today's video, after this recording is there with you, please follow the steps, whatever I have done. That is only enough for you today. Same steps, whatever I have done, just follow it, you will get to know. And you'll get an errors, I'm sure. You can fix them and then move forward. If everybody is clear with these topics, I will move forward.
Yes, sir.
So in the arguments, we discuss
sir,
what
sure.
in direction, out direction. We will have another thing called in and out. When we are doing a small use case, we will discuss a direct argument of in and out things. And what is assign activity, what is the types of variables, everything we have discussed related to variable and arguments, right? Thanks, Niranjan. You are clear. I saw your message. Chalo, next. Next important thing you need to understand is the concept of while activity. Somewhere in your schooling or somewhere in your any education site, you would have heard about this keyword called while. Anybody? What is while? Any idea? Anybody? What is while?
So while and do
While,
while,
do
while.
while.
While do while, but one at a time. Sushmit?
The while condition is it will check the condition first, then it will execute the body, I think.
Okay, if it is will check the condition first, right? Let's say
Yes.
condition means, what do you mean by condition?
Condition means if else or if logical reason, control flow.
Control flow. So let's say I'm saying here also you can see that the body executes as long as this condition is true. True means 5 is greater than 2. Is a true or false statement? 5 is greater than 2.
False.
Bro, 5 is greater than 2.
True.
5 is greater than 2. That's a true condition. Right? 5 is greater than 2, which is true. So the condition here I'm saying true. Now, if the condition is true, and then I'm putting a right line here inside this while condition, here I'm saying, let's say, hello, and let's go and show you step by step what it's doing. And with this example, you will understand very clearly what while is doing. If you see while, like I said, condition is true. If the condition is true, it will go inside and then hello. And then again, the condition is true. Hello. You will see number of times hello, hello, hello message will keep getting displayed. Let me remove this breakpoint and then click on continue. See, hello, 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 hello. It will keep on go because until condition is wrong, your execution will not stop. But here I have put true. That means it's always true. It is always true. It will never stop. Now, if you see lot of hello, 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 hello messages keep coming up here in the chat. Now, how do I stop it? I can't even stop it because robot is running. Until I stop and change the logic, this will not even stop. Understood? Not understood? Please tell me. Until the condition is false, your while loop will not even stop. Your robot is not even stopping. Your keep running. Your robot is still running. And the proof for that is this green color one. This green color icon, whatever you're seeing, is a robot. So this is still running. Now I need to forcefully stop this. Okay, right. Now let's say I want to display the sum of two numbers. Let's say, sorry, I want to display first 10 numbers. I want to display first 10 numbers. That's my requirement. Using while, how can I do that? So what I will do is I'll take an assign activity please concentrate here. If you're not doing it, I am taking assign activity. I'm going to variables, and here I'm saying integer underscore number, and the variable type should be integer. Now what I am doing is int number equal to, let's say, 0. Just I'm assigning integer number equal to 0. I'm assigning a value to an integer which is 0. Nirmala, if you don't have anything, please go on mute. Okay, I have muted you, Nirmala. So next is, now what I am doing is, if my condition is, let's say I want to display first few numbers, like let's say first 5 numbers. Int number. If the integer number, Nirmala, please go on mute. If integer number is less than 5, so 0 is less than 5, that everybody knows. 0 is less than 5, which is true. Now I am saying just display whatever you have in integer number. Now after displaying whatever you have in integer number, I will take this assign activity and then I will increment this integer number with 1. Increment means I will add 1 to that integer number. So what I am doing, if integer number is less than 5, then display that number, and then add 1 number to that. Now 0 will become 1, 1 less than 5, true, 2 less than 5, 3 less than 5, 4 less than 5, 5 less than 5. 5 less than 5 is false, so it will come out. So numbers it will display is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Clear everybody, or any problem in this?
Yes.
This is how you need to use this while activity, and I will also tell you on what type of in the applications also, in which scenarios you should use this while. But first of all, you need to understand how this activity will work in UiPath. So the number like I showed you in, let me first clear it off everything here. The initial number is 0, which I have assigned here. 0 is less than 5, which is true. Now the number it will display is 0. Now I'm incrementing with 1 number. Now what is the incremented number? Earlier it was 0. Now I have added 1 to that. Now it become 1. So 1 less than 5, which is true. Now display 1. Now you see you got the 1 here. Now I'll keep going. Now if you go to output, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your execution ended. So for this type of scenarios, to check for that particular moment of time, to check a particular data, you will have to use while condition. Clear everybody? And you can take this as a task to display the sum of, to display all the even numbers. Maybe the same example using the while, you can do it as to get the even numbers, to get the odd numbers, or whatever you wanted to do using the while condition with the while activity. So similar to while, I'll also do it for do while as well. But the main difference between while and do while is it will first execute the body, then check the condition. The rest of the everything is same. Now again, I will take this assign activity. I'll do it in, I need to create a new variable, because you already know whatever variable I created here will not come to this workflow. And there is no variables in this at this moment. I'm just going here saying Control K in underscore numbers number. Now I need to change this number to integer. I'm saying let's say 0. Now in the body, I'm saying, first of all, in the body itself, I'm saying a write line, which is gonna display me a number, which is in number dot to string. Now again here I'm writing a logic if number is less than 5. Integer number, I want to add this to integer number plus 1. The same logic, whatever we have done, but the problem, like the good thing is, it will first execute the body, then check for the condition. Now, if I'm running it, if anybody did not understand, please raise. If you are not speaking, I'll understand you understood this. And its execution is ended, and then you got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Clear everybody, or anybody has any problem?
No, in which
Clear, sir.
scenarios do we use the while and do while?
In which, very good question. For example, the application related, let's say you want to, let's say when you are for example, when you go to any application, let's say, let me first let this get loaded. Let's say, for example, you are in some portal like this. So if you see the moment I clicked on it, it is still loading, 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 loading. It is taking some time, right? It is taking some time. So maybe to wait for that element to load for that particular moment of time, the moment you find that particular moment of time, you will have to use while condition. While will basically, the moment you find some particular text, then you click on a particular button. So while is first you check for a condition whether you have something to do. Once you have this page loaded, then you click on it. That is called, that is the usage, one of the example of usage for while. Do while is first you open the application, then check if you have this website, a particular element is found or not found. And when we are dealing with a web-based application, something like that, you will get more clarity how I am using it in that particular scenario. But the scenario what it is to launch a website, I will have to use do while, because before it is checking that that website is loaded or not loaded, I will have to first launch that website, which is using do while. But if you don't want to launch the website, then you should use while condition. Hope it's clear.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Any other questions? Okay, so sequences, let's quickly put some points, whatever we have learned. It's like a step by step execution, flowchart, decision based execution. State machine we will cover on tomorrow is Friday or what? Tomorrow is Friday. So we'll cover it on tomorrow. 19th we will cover on state machines, the concept of state machine. Variables we have already discussed, the types of variables and everything. This is the standard way. Types of variables we discussed, managing and arguments, everything we discussed, scopes and assigning the data we have discussed. So tomorrow we will start with the state machine concept, and then also the data scraping concept. You find it, the feature here in the UiPath. So again, I'm telling you, only if you practice, then only you will make good progress yourself. If you just listen to this 1 hour session, you will definitely miss a lot of things. Okay, and we have few more minutes, right? I'll also cover another important thing called switch. What do you mean by switch? In general English terminology, what do you mean by switch?
Like we can switch from one activity to another, one condition to another. Like there are many conditions.
Okay, many conditions. So one condition to another. Switch to on and off the fan. For example, I on the fan, I off the fan. So that's like on and off. That's a switch. So for that same example, you have the switch activity in UiPath. In the switch condition, basically in your interviews, the question may come up like this. what is the difference between if activity and switch activity? And you have seen, right? In if you can put a condition, it will go to true side or false side, left hand side or right hand side. That you have already seen. Like we have already done a lot of things so far. If it's here somewhere, where is that? Get salary. So here we have done, right? If it is username is this one, go to left hand side. If it is not equal to this one, go to right hand side. But that's a limitation. Let's say if username equal to Vamshi, or else you need to check with if username equal to Sri Lakshmi or Sushmit or Niranjan or Nirmala or Vajrang. Do I need to write 6 conditions? Just imagine if again another if. Please answer the same way if somebody is asking in the interview. If again another if inside another if and then another if. This is not the right way and this is called as nested if. You cannot have these many if conditions, right? In an ideal scenario. That is a problem of switch. Then sorry, if condition. That is the reason we are. I'm introducing this concept called switch condition. Are you all with me? Last topic before we close today. Please concentrate.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I told you what is the problem with if condition. Like multiple conditions you should put. Let's at least you take our example only. 6 people are in this call. So to check if the username equal to Sri Lakshmi, Vamshi, Sushmit, Niranjan, these many people, I need to write 6 conditions. It can be in future, it can be like more conditions. For that, that's not the right way. Let's say now let's take this assign. Let's say Control K and str user name. Now in the str username, let's say I'm giving Susmit. This I'm assigning username as Susmit. Now in the switch condition, the very first important thing you need to set right is with what data are you dealing? Username is belonging to a string. Now I need to change this argument to string. After you change the argument, now what you need to do is just say expression, you say str username. Now in the cases, let's say if it's Susmit, then allocate place, let's say Mumbai. If it is Vamsi, let's say Hyderabad. If it is Sri Lakshmi, let's say UK. And let's say if it's Nirmala, let's say it's Chennai, somewhere like that. So based on username, you will have to say your location is. Now what we need to do is if a new case, let's say if it's Vamsi, then you should assign a value to Vamsi as. Now I need to assign a variable. Let's say str underscore location. I'm creating a new variable, so I have created here, and let's say I'm saying Hyderabad. Now if it's a new person, let's say it's Susmit. If it's Susmit, you're from which place?
Kolkata.
If it's Susmit, I'll have to say Kolkata. Okay, now let's say if it is not Susmit, not Vamshi. Other than these two people, anybody can come. Now that will go to default category. Other than these 2 people, let's say I'm entering Sri Lakshmi, Nirmala, or some other person. I'll take this assign activity, and let's say let's assign it as India. Now finally, I'll put a right line at the end of this, and I will say location. Now the reason behind it, this look very good compared to if condition. This is like one activity, you put multiple switch cases inside it, and based on that, the moment you run this, you see how it's running, right? So it will not go and check each and every condition, like if it's Sushmit, if it's Vamshi, if it is like that. Now we are checking for Sushmit. Now we have put 2 cases, and we have put a default case. Default means not Sushmit, not Vamshi. Other than these 2 people name, if anybody else I'm giving, it will go to default. But now it should go to Kolkata's location because I gave Sushmit here, and I'm giving a case as Sushmit. See, it directly went to Sushmit case, which is location is equal to Kolkata, and then came out of switch, and finally it will display as Kolkata. But in case if I would have done this approach in the if condition, if username equal to Sushmit or Another if condition, if username equal to Vamsi or other, you'll have to put lot of conditions. But now you can easily go here and add a case Nirmala, add a case Niranjan, add a case for all of these people, and then execution time is faster. Your robot also will, the development also looks very good. So this is about switch condition. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Thanks. Hope you have cleared with today's topic. In case if you have not understood anything, please go through the video one more time. If you're still not understanding, then you can raise it to me. If no other questions, then we can close the call for today. Chalo then, I'm seeing silence. That means no questions. Thanks everyone for joining. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.